Yeah, it is a format, and stand-up in itself has a format. You have to go on stage, and first you introduce yourself. Hey, I'm this person, and in yourself and your persona. I'm this lady. I come from Romania, from Eastern Europe. That's my background. I'm little bit depressed. So you start to get who I am. You know, I eat comfort food, and you get me. And then it's more easier for the audience to connect with me. This is what comedy is for, to talk about things that no one wants to talk about things that are controversial. And
welcome to this new episode from lovely Eat Koh, a well-known restaurant in Srithanu. And today is a special edition indeed, because we have Simona. How are you, Simona?
hi, I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Very nice. So Simona is a stand-up comedian, and she's the very popular host of a weekly open mic in Eat Koh Srithanu indeed. So I'm going to delve into it straight away.
Yes.
What's your story in life up to now?
I'm originally from Romania, which is difficult in itself. All my life I wanted to be an actor, and I worked towards that. I went to the National University of Theatre and Cinematography in Bucharest, Romania. I did the 4-year program, and then the MFA program, and then the PhD program. I kind of went from one to another. I did not finish my PhD like last year because I had some health issues that kind of put me on the side for 2 years. 2 years that I couldn't work and I couldn't do anything, and kind of changed my life in a sense, because I had like physical problems. I had to do some surgeries, so I was in and out of surgeries for 2 years, and that like kind of completely changed everything for me. I was looking at life and at my career and what from a different perspective.
For sure.
Priorities just changed for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I've been doing. I've been acting for all my life. Acting in everything. I did movies, TV series, commercials, theater, mostly theater. I ended up producing theater, doing everything, from translating a play if it was in English, or writing plays, getting funding for the projects. So I did like almost everything I could possibly do in theater. And in the end, I was theater manager in two of the most important theater venues in Romania, independent theater venues, so kind of underground. And I was artistic manager for 2 years in one and almost 1 year in the second one. And that also was hard experience, although it was like my dream job, because I could choose the repertoire, you know, the plays that were being done, and the schedule that we want to do, and I loved doing that, but it was exhausting. I ended up being burned out with doing that full-time job, talking to so many people every day. It stresses me out so badly that even now when someone calls me on my phone, I'm like,
Well, yeah, even if you are like fueled by a strong passion, I mean, you need to take some time off. But I'd like to ask you, I mean, do you come from a family of artists, or how did you develop this sort of, desire to train in the arts and become a...
No, I don't come from a family of artists, like, not at all. I mean, I was born during communism. My parents just worked like regular. My father was in the army, and my mom worked in some retail. She had like her own thing.
So this passion, like as a child already you had it?
I think my mom kind of put that in my head in a sense, and now I'm struggling with that on my own, because I don't know if there were times when I wasn't sure it is something that I want to do. But yeah, from a small, it was kind of, my mom would take me to theater, to see shows, to meet actors, and she kind of, you're special, you have to be special, you have to do a special thing with your life, you're so beautiful, you're the most, you know how parents are, you're the most incredible person.
You know, it's one of these things that many people want to learn. First of all, what is I? And then, you know, what is I? I mean, I wanted to do this, or are you sort of, you know, the manifestation and the result of many years of mainstream indoctrination? Obviously, you have a cultural aspect of your personality, obviously. How much of your parents is within you, at least the persona that you present to the world? And is your real self something maybe more spiritual than the psychological persona you portray to the world?
Spiritual, I don't think so.
See? Because, you know, if you come here and take a look, it's funny because indeed the community is very diverse, and we have people that are looking into psychology and spirituality, but also we have some people that are doing other things, right? Yeah. So it's not one of your passions to do sort of meditation.
I used to say that I'm not part of the spiritual community because like, I don't want to find myself, you know. I've seen myself up close. I'm not that great.
You want to go away from yourself?
No, it's a joke I make, but no, I do want. I am here for a reason. I am here because, like, I was deeply depressed for most of my life. Like, since I was a child, I was depressed. And I've been in and off therapy for most of my life. Even now, I'm in therapy, of course. Taking pills, taking antidepressants. So before coming here, I was supposed to go back on antidepressants, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try something new. I'm coming here, and I'm going to see if this helps, and it does help. So I'm not taking any pills now, any antidepressants, and I can handle myself.
Okay.
It's not perfect, but I can handle myself. And also having a little bit of more free time and being in a wonderful place, it helps.
There's a bit of a stereotype maybe associated with artists and creatives in general. They tend to go through swings quite a bit, right, emotionally?
I do. I have those. Yeah. If that is I am there. And people think I'm so cool because I'm a comedian and they like invite me to stuff, but I'm a pretty introvert person. I like a lot to just sit by myself. I don't go to parties. I don't know. I'm pretty reserved, let's say.
So how do you handle sort of this popularity that you have indeed? Because every Wednesday you're here, you know, introducing the stand-up comedians or anybody that wants to come up on show, really. And but you are very much part of the show. I mean, you're running the show, and of course, lots of people come in this place to see the open mic. So how do you cope with being a shy person with all the like Koh Phangan popularity that you get?
Oh God, that's a great question. Well, it is. I don't want to complain. I never thought I'm gonna do acting or comedy in Koh Phangan. I expected I would just be resting and doing yoga and meditating and taking care of myself. That was the idea. First I was supposed to be here for 1 year, but you know, it's been longer. And I was not expecting this to happen. And I just met a couple of people, and we started having a group, and we did a couple of shows, and then we say, let's have an open mic so we can play every week. I love Americans, and I respect you guys so much, because you guys smile no matter how hard things get. No matter how bad they get, you smile. Now they have it hard. Americans get blamed for everything that is wrong in the world, right? Finally. And they still smile like they won the lottery. We East Europeans,
We never smile, no matter how good our life gets. We know deep down we don't deserve it. We don't even want the good stuff. No, good stuff just brings you trouble. No, thank you. No.
Yeah, people recognize me a lot on the street. Some come at me and they act like they know me, and one guy scared me actually. It wasn't his intention, but he just started talking to me like we've been friends for a while, and I was like, what? What? You know, I have this face, this scared East European face. I mean,
yes, because your persona when you're running the show here is this Eastern European lady from Romania particularly, so you like to make jokes about your origin in your own country. And it's quite self-deprecating in a way, right? So you like to make jokes about yourself mostly, is that true? And your life, and there's some sort of format which is a little bit similar every Wednesday, but then you add to it different layers, different jokes.
Yeah, it is a format, and stand-up in itself has a format. You just you have to go on stage, and first you introduce yourself. Hey, I'm this person, and yourself and your persona. I'm this lady, I come from Romania, from Eastern Europe, that's my background, I'm a little bit depressed, so you start to get who I am. You know, I eat comfort food, and you get me. And then it's more easier for the audience to connect with me. I know who you are, you're this person, because you just told us.
Yeah.
Without doing that part, it would be just weird, so just going on stage and say, hey, I hate my mom. And it's good to self-deprecate a little bit, or you know, make fun about yourself first, so then you can make fun about other people or situation. And you always make fun about communities you're a part of, or punching up, not down. So yeah,
yes,
first I make
important.
fun about myself, about my people, and then I can make fun about people who are doing better, like Americans, like anyone who's doing better, punching up, never down.
So you mentioned earlier that your first part of your artistic career was more in theater, not in stand-up. I mean, it's how did you switch from one genre to the other?
Well, I didn't completely switch, because I have both these tools, let's say, in my belt. After my a lot of personal struggles, like the physical stuff, the health issues, and just being on the side for 2 years, that made me reconsider things. And it was hard to get back on acting. I couldn't get in, as much jobs as I needed, because people knew that I was sick before, and they didn't know how well I'm doing. So I wouldn't get cast a lot, so I had to do that for myself. This is how I end up being a producer and a theater manager, because no one is casting me. I need to do something.
Okay.
Because I'm that type of person, and if nothing is happening, I just do it by myself. As here as well, it was not a comedy show before, and I said, oh, I need to have a comedy show so I can work on my stuff. So, and people need, because they love coming to a comedy show. Let's just make one. I mean, it's not that hard. I mean, it is challenging, but you just make things happen. I kind of realized, or struggling with, oh, what's happening with me? Am I well enough? Am I well enough to do acting again? Do I want to do that? And I really started questioning if did I ever want to do that, or I was forced into it, or somehow, it was whispered to my ear that you should do that, be special, shine on the stage. And my shy persona and my introvert self, and depressed always, didn't feel quite at home in the theater world, because theater world is pretty fucked up, especially back home. What I realized is that playing other people, being other people, and trying to understand them from inside, as you do in classical theater. When you do a character, you really have to live that character and be with it.
Embodied 100%.
Embody and live with it for months, when you are rehearsing and during the shows. And and because of my vulnerability, I got a lot of parts that were exploring that side of me. And at some point, I realized this is not good for me.
Okay, exploring your depressive side through acting, yeah?
Yeah, exploring that, and just the idea of trying to be other people when you are not okay with yourself and you don't know who you are. So I realized I need to go that way, because on stand-up I'm more myself than in theater, because I'm who I am without any how do you call
props and costumes and stuff.
Props, costumes, like mask. It's just me or who I want to be.
Yeah, you still create a persona,
a
but
persona actually, that's a misunderstanding. A persona is actually more than who you are. Than it's yourself.
Okay, okay. When you play with it very, very well, you can create an authentic persona, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah, a persona on stage is not a character. That's quite a common misunderstanding. A persona in stand-up comedy is like more true to who you are.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, you would say things that you would not normally say in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, just being able to say how I feel, what I think, and to express myself so honestly and without any filters, it makes me feel more happy and more I feel better.
You feel much better, yeah. Rather than just studying a character and then representing this character,
I mean,
which is alien or different from you.
In this stage in my life, maybe I would go back to acting. I don't know, but in this stage in my life, with everything that happened to me and all the struggles, this feels like home to me now. Just working on this, and I've been doing it for 4 years already.
It's quite interesting when you say that, yeah, sort of the Simona on the show doing the comedy is more authentic to you than, you know, any kind of other roles or jobs that you did in the past. I mean, it's, yeah, because it does seem like a caricature in a way, a positive caricature of yourself. Mm-hmm. But you say there's lots of authenticity behind it. That's why these kind of jokes about yourself or the world, the way you see it, maybe appear in your psyche, because I mean, they come to you because there is a part of you that sees the world that way, and then maybe you make it more exaggerated. Or, I mean, can you explain what are some techniques maybe to, you know, come up with a stand-up comedy, particularly for people that maybe want to come here one day and just give it a go, and they never done it before.
Yeah, this is the place for it. If you've never done it before, open mic, it's a free event. Anyone can come and say whatever, try new things. It's interesting because we had very, very good shows, like even if it's an open mic, we had some shows that were like proper shows, because we had a more experienced comedian, but some girl left, you know, it's Koh Phangan. And it's interesting because people expect now like a proper show, even though it's an open mic, and I have to remind them all the time, this is just an open mic. And what an open mic is, it's actually a workshop. You come to try a new idea, or to people come for the very first time and tell a story. It's not always the best. It's not Netflix special quality, but it's still extremely good for an open mic. Even comparing with open mics in comedy clubs, and I'm serious about this. It's
I think
pretty good.
The individual acts can be better or worse, but the whole experience, the whole evening as a whole is always pleasant and fun and good energy. That's the way I'll say it. But again, going back, if somebody's new and maybe they're just passing through Koh Phangan, they want to give it a go. So there are any sort of guidelines, how they come up with jokes? I mean, everybody's got a personal story in life, and maybe something that is a little bit out of the ordinary, or that they can tell, but there's no structure or preparations that you can recommend.
There are a lot of rules, and there is, of course, a structure. And you know, the Americans work a certain way, English comedians work a different way. Personally, I chose the American way because I know it's more friendly to me and it's more strict. And I love rules. I'm a rule follower. What you can do as how you come up, let's take it one by one, how you come up with subjects, with topics, right?
Okay.
So topics are usually, I would, every time I come up with a topic, I would write it down. I would write it down. I would think about it. 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 I would think about it when I teach a workshop about comedy, this is what I start with. And I tell people, just write things that make you mad. 5 things that make you really mad.
Angry, yeah?
Yeah, because that means you really care about that subject. And you need to be invested. If you're talking about things you don't care, that's nothing, because you don't have the attitude like men who beat women, that's fucking enraging, and I already have an attitude to it. And that gives people more to look up. What's going on? I want to know what's happening. Why are you so angry? What's going on? Tell us why. Tell us more. It gets people engaged in that. So what makes you mad about the world, about yourself, about other people? This is how you start. And then you take the topic and you make some subtopics, let's say. You make a mind map of the topic. Let's say you choose a topic that makes you mad. Oh, I know it's Koh Phangan, where no one is mad here, but...
Well, okay, so that's the first topic, yeah. And also, what if the topic of conversation is a little bit controversial or is not is against the, sort of the general rap or the mainstream narrative? You have to be a little careful with that, because I mean, most of the people that show up are like sort of, you know, they follow sort of mainstream guidelines when it comes to ethics, morality, the way they see the world. If you have something that makes you mad and is quite sort of niche, can you still sort of find a way of making jokes about it? Or it's better you stay on the safe side?
No, to stay on the safe side is not an option for comedy. You either go to the extreme, and if it's something that you care about and it's strong for you, you have to be committed to that subject till the end. This
even
is
if it's against the flow, yeah.
No, if you have to have joyful communication. If it's a controversial subject, you keep it light, even though it's the subject is rape or whatever. Keep it light, and anything it's allowed from my point of view. I don't think anything it's off the table as in terms of topics. You can talk about anything you want. It's fucking comedy. This is what comedy is for, to talk about things that no one wants to talk about, to talk about things that are controversial and say fuck you in your face, yeah? Do that. You can talk about anything you want, but there is one rule. It has to be more funny than offensive.
Yes,
that is the only rule.
Yeah.
So joyful communication, if it's something dark or, you know, because people are very sensitive, and it must be more funny than offensive.
That's true, yeah. And then
and remember, you punch up, you don't punch down.
Yeah, so
I mean,
punch up means go after
poor
the
people, because that would be embarrassing.
No.
No one, the audience would not like it.
Yeah, yeah. So you wanna be going after, as you said, like people that are maybe richer or more powerful, and like politicians. You can talk about no problem, right?
If it's something you care about deeply. It's something that really it erases like feelings, strong feelings for you. If it's something that really means something to you, it could be your family, it could be, I don't know, people who are exploring other people. But in a sense, it's better to be a personal subject.
The first time I met you was during the improv sort of class I was running in Serenity a long time ago. And you remember? Huh?
Yes.
And I remember, wow, this lady is so interesting, so fun, you know? And I thought you were going to be here for a little while, but then you stayed for long. I mean, can you tell us the story, Simona and Koh Phangan, why you came here particularly? If you can rationalize it, sometimes it's just randomness. And mostly why you're still here and what is your plan for the next future?
I wanted to come here just before the pandemic, because I kind of like, I did travel a lot in my life. I was lucky enough to be able to do that. And me and my boyfriend, we were all both kind of burned out, and we decided to like sell all our things and take a year off. I had tickets for Koh Phangan, and pandemic came, and I was in lockdown, March.
But why Koh Phangan? Like you knew the place already?
Koh Phangan, just because I haven't been here before. I've been to Thailand, but not in Koh Phangan specifically. Just from everything I read about it and friends that came here, it seemed like a good place to have a year off and just relax and do some healing and.
See,
I'm doing. I'm not.
So you're doing some sort of like.
I'm doing yoga, meditating.
That's great.
Walks on the beach. So it seemed like a good place, and also the fact that you have an international community kind of helps you. You don't feel like you're out of the world completely. Though I do say a lot, this is not the real world.
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
Summer camp for adults. This is not.
It's a bubble, right? It's a beautiful,
bubble.
interesting new age bubble, and you're part of it with your comedy, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah. And I thought I was just gonna do nothing, but just 2 months, I feel like, what the fuck am I doing here? I feel like I was like invisible, like my identity was not there because I was not a performer. I was not doing what I know, and probably it was good. I was not doing it and just tune it off a bit. But then, yeah, I felt the need to be connected with people who shared my passion. So I was going to a writing workshop, and I met some people. I met Neil and another comedian. Then I found out about the improv, and I came and I met you, and I was like, oh my God, these things are happening here. So I could actually have a life here, be healthy, and do what I love. And that was like a huge. I never expected this to happen.
So in the future, so do you have any plans, any projects that you want to realize, or you're happy to keep on doing the Wednesday nights?
I'm very happy. I'm very grateful to ITCO for having us. They've been really kind to us, and they gave us all the space, everything we need. And the space in itself has like such a nice energy with the audience and everything.
Sure. It's one of the first sort of, Phangan restaurants in Srithanu, and vegan restaurants, and it is a fun place, always been.
Yeah, it has such a good vibe.
So you're keeping it here, and then anything else?
We're keeping it here every Wednesday night, and yes, we did a couple of shows, like proper shows, with tickets, not open mics, shows with tickets, with a post, with more, let's say, advanced or professional comedians. I want to do some workshops, so new people can grow and learn, because there are a lot of very talented people who want to try, but they just don't have the tools for it.
Yeah, I love to do it myself. I mean, to be part of your workshop, to learn stand-up comedy, because I done some work myself, as you know, like in the improv world. I did a musical show with Victoria. That was very good fun. But I haven't done any, not even open mic. So if you do the
scary, right? It's scary, the open mic.
I suppose you need to like set aside a few hours, maybe just coming up with some of the jokes, and then. But when are you going to do these workshops then? I'm planning. It's very important to have committed people, because it's an ongoing process. So we can go through the basic of writing and performing stand-up. I need like 5 people who are committed for at least 2 months, so we can learn something, because otherwise it's just, you know how the improv workshop is, like every day new people come, so you can move on, you can move and go to advanced, because for the new people you have to do the basics every time, so it's difficult. So I'm trying to not do that and just have some people committed so they can really learn something. But that's a great way to end it then, because if you are here in Koh Phangan, you want to learn about stand-up comedy, you want to become a comedian yourself, send us or send her an email or a message. It's going to be in the description, and we'll see if we can get 5 people and get this stand-up comedy workshop going for 2 months.
Yes.
Well, Simona, thanks, for the good energy and for doing this. It's very much part of our sort of lifestyle and community in Srithanu. Your open mics on Wednesdays, and
I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun, and it attracts all sorts of people. Some people that live here permanently, and also tourists, and it's a nice mix of different energies, which is great. But thank you very much for sharing your life story as well with me, and.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Kapunka.
Kapunka. Thank you.